Our legislation doesn't say that we can't hear them.
No, we were only under the assumption that we couldn't
Family
go
court
to
was
the family court directly.
No, that was, like I said, that was legislation was introduced that was supposed to address that all alcohol and drug-related charges would have to go before the family court. It was shut down, it was not passed. A lot of police departments still send their cases to family court. What I would hope would happen here on the island to address your drinking problem, that if you don't have a program that you can plug the kids into already, or some type of sanctions, that maybe you can maybe come up with something. I know RYDD, which is Reducing Youthful Dangerous Driving at Rhode Island Hospital, has been a really strong partner with Rhode Island Family Court. It's a program that's run at the trauma center, where if the kids got caught drinking, they would be placed in the program. It was a 16-hour program. It might be 20 hours now. I think they made it a little bit longer. They would go and they would work a couple of shifts at the trauma center. There would also be some lectures and some counseling from the Rhode Island hospital staff. RYDD, Reducing Youthful Dangerous Driving. So it's at any traffic offense. So if a kid gets caught driving without a license, basically what happened is they go to Rhode Island Hospital at the busiest times, which is usually a Friday, Saturday night, and they work with a trained counselor in the trauma center. And what happens is they actually see the effects of alcohol. And when it first started out, it was supposed to be accidents. So we wanted to see accidents, but guess what? It's not always the fact. Sometimes people come in after the night of drinking at the clubs and they are beat up because they got drunk and they got into fights or they got jumped. Domestic violence people would be brought in, and the effects of what would happen to either a spouse who got abused by a husband or wife because they were drinking. Accidents would be brought in. They also bring the kids up to the surgical intensive care, where they get to see people sometimes their own age on life support, or with tubes coming out of them that just got out of surgery because of poor decision making. So it's a pretty impactful program that.
Does this one have anything like that?
No, but given the university there and the regular influx of alcohol poisoning that comes in.
I was
And
just
the
thinking.
ER there,
In in AA they have to say where people come into AA and have to sign in on stay for an hour in AA, things like that. They have to actually sign the person who's chairing the meeting, something like that. Could be a possibility.
I mean, that's if you want to go that route. Me personally, I don't know if that's the best setting to put the kids into. I think I think education goes a long way.
Well, there are young people's meetings.
Yeah, I think education goes a really long way as
Kodak
far
has a
as.
number of programs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you can get them into group programs and stuff like that, maybe you've got like the Substance Abuse Task Force. They have a little bit of money out there that maybe you can tap into, that you can run some type of programs, or have people who are experts in that field come in and speak with the kids. Or maybe develop your own program that addresses the drinking issues.
Project Peer even come out here.
Project Peers. Like I said, I love that. I mean, those kids are really. You listen to their stories, and you can see why they were. The kids on Jamestown, like that, probably not, but you never know. Everybody starts somewhere. Every kid.
I mean, what made me think of it, we had kids at some point who drove and killed somebody in a driving accident because they were speeding or drunk or something, and ended up at the train school.
We used to have a really nice program at the state prison, the SCORE program, but we're no longer able to use that because of the Juvenile Detention Act, the Federal Juvenile Detention Act. We can't bring the kids, juveniles, and have them incarcerated or locked up with adult offenders. So unfortunately, we can't do it, but I know the high schools do it. I know they bring the kids up. They have a panel. They bring them right up to medium security. They have a really good panel of kids, of inmates who are all doing time for vehicular homicide or drunk driving or death resulting. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use that as a sanction.
But you know what? those programs are good, and I've seen them done over, because I'm over at the high school almost every day, even though I'm a substitute. People come in and they talk, and then you have advisory period. And when you're in an advisory, senior advisory, say the following Monday, and you hear the party and the kids were shit-faced on Friday night and they were puking in somebody's parents' bed over that weekend. So I suppose if it affects one kid, but sometimes these mass presentations, I don't think really affect the kids.
Well, research has shown, I think we got to wrap this up pretty soon, at least as far as Ron goes, is it's better for the person doing the talking than the person there to receive it.
Yeah.
It has more of an impact on their lives. Hearing themselves talk about what they did, and what
Right.
they didn't do, and what they could have done, there's much more of a success in turning their lives around than the kids they're talking to. But like you said, if it affects 1 or 2 kids in that group, then we've done okay. Does anyone have any other questions for him at this point about the hearing? I'm sure we'll be communicating, so.
Absolutely.
Any other, this RYDD sounds good. If there's anything else like that.
I'll get you some information, contact information on that. Like I
Just
said,
write my email or like.
I still have it. I saved it. Unfortunately for me, like I said, I keep saying it, but because of, I'm out of the loop on a lot of these things only because they put me in a county now instead of in Providence. So,
Yeah, when I called you, that's what they said, they can't come in.
yeah.
Well, I'd be happy to do a little research. I'm kind of a research geek. I'd be happy to sort of track down, sanctions that work, juvenile hearing boards around the country, sanctions.
OJJDP,
That
maybe.
are
I'll-
creative.
Believe it or not, there's really not a whole lot of hearing boards outside the state of Rhode Island, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. It's really, they have team boards, they have a lot of other different stuff that they use in the restorative justice formula, but the hearing boards is not a big,
I mean, I think we can almost get too much information to start. I think we just need to kind of
So we're like,
go by what we
the
think.
state who started it or something?
I think you can second guess yourself too, if you get too much information.
yes, I said, you don't want to overload, it's a sensory overload, you don't want to just go, it's, you're gonna know it. It's, something, everybody here is either a parent or a professional, or there's something going on, and you're gonna know. You're gonna know it when you see the kids, you're gonna know something's not right.
You're organized.
You're gonna know that this kid's not a bad kid, he's made a bad mistake, you're gonna know this kid is going, he's the demon seed, and he's gonna be at the training school before long, and you're gonna know. You just know when you talk to the kids, you're gonna know by their effect, you're gonna know by the answers they give you, how, they sit in there, you're just gonna know. You know, I have to, you know.
I also appreciated what you had to say, Ron, about the parents, listening to the parents and the kid.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything that we can do for you, how are things going?
Well, that's what I always did. When I was a hearing officer, that's what I would do. I'd say, go sit outside, wait in the waiting area, and I would say, what's going on? What can I do for you? Is there anything I can do for you today to help you? That was like a big joke of the thing. It's like, that's, what can I do to make your day better? And you'd be surprised what the parents start spewing out. It's like, so you can get a lot of information from the parents,
I think so.
but there's going to be other times that you're going to hit roadblocks when you deal with the parents. So,
Oh, sure.
but you guys are all smart enough to realize that. And it's going to be
Appreciate it.
all right.
Kindly.
If you need anything at all, please feel free to contact me. If I don't know the answer, I will try to find it, and the stuff
How
that.
do we do that?
My email is
I can contact him as a
I'll
chair.
give it RPIROLLI @courts COURTS.RI.gov. You shoot me off an email. I'm not the best at reading them all the time because I'm so busy. I mean, it takes some days that I answer them right away, and it might take a couple of days other times, hopefully.
We're your last stop of the day.
Yeah, I'm going home.